Hey there, welcome to episode 43 of the Buy Me an Update audio program. I'm your host, as usual, Dan Hugo. We are recording this at 11:38 a.m. Pacific time on Sunday, September 14th, 2025, to be published Monday, 15 September, sometime in the morning, depending on where you're finding this. Today's title, Excelsior. The show notes include a summary. The Excelsior, the word Excelsior, is Latin for higher, as in up, but is more typically used to mean onward and upward, which is my preferred translation and use. Let's do that. The link section, I'm not going to read through all of them. You can always find all of the links and whatnot to all of my undertakings, including this very audio program, at buymeacoffee.com/danhugo. You can find this audio program first published at buymeacoffee.com/danhugo/posts. And there is a new homepage in town at danhugo.com. I've had that domain forever, and it contains links to this program, Coffee Solo, etc. And then in the link section for this post, there are links to all the other productions. Finally, there's a link for today's episode, the boosted Saturn V launch video available on YouTube. I have it set to go 17 seconds in, so you don't have to listen to Werner von Braun commentary. Last week, Let's Innovate for Vegas was a more detailed look at the first part of our official purpose statement, which you may have heard before, to enable and encourage some good things. Quaggling Sand was a look at how and why I became a coffee drinker. Something of a coffee snob, I suppose. There is a reason it is the most popular drug, FFS Talk was a look at some tools and methods we already have at our disposal today to make news and reporting more consistent and reliable, or at least observable. Somebody really should drive that. Cafe Genius Impresarios was a look at how I continue to see as what I continue to see as a substantial problem with the entrepreneurial innovation ecosystem in the Greater Vegas area as an entrepreneur myself. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Upcoming news and so on, I have included a YouTube link, as I mentioned, in the links for today's episode, to a video that is blatantly edited, and it's on purpose, and that's been described and whatnot, to enhance the audio and overall presentation of an Apollo launch. Apollo, remember the mission to the moon. Apollo 11 famously landed on the moon, and so did a couple of other missions after. Starting with the complicated machinations that follow in the first several seconds following ignition of the massive Saturn V rocket engines, Saturn V booster. That's the first stage of the mission. This goes with the Excelsior quite well, if you ask me. Hacktoberfest is coming up in October, as usual. And while this is not directly related to what I am pursuing myself, I have made the executive decision to place the Project ACT initiative into that maelstrom to see what comes of it. That's a Project ACT is an Innovate for Vegas Foundation initiative, autonomous cohort tessellation. There will be some front-loaded effort to make it viable for this participation, and we will see where it goes. In other news, distractions aside from last week, if you weren't paying attention, that's on you. My startup mode efforts are advancing. I described that last week in this audio program. I am finding a steady ascent is better than attempting an unrestricted climb, which is impressive at an air show. I've seen a few. They are impressive, but not sustainable for normal people. Excelsior indeed. That's going to do it for today's episode of Buy Me an Update. Remember, we publish these every Monday in the morning sometime, and they're available first at buymeacoffee.com/danhugo/posts. By the way, you're under no obligation to spend any money at that website, but you can visit and see on the profile there links to all of my various productions and projects and efforts and so on. In the meantime, you have a great week. Take care now. See ya.